Hey guys, this is Luke here, and welcome to another Ninjago video on the channel. So today I am going to be talking about my unpopular opinions. Now, if you don't know what an unpopular opinion is, it's an opinion that most people would generally disagree on. And you'd probably get a bunch of hate from it. So, yeah, everyone has unpopular opinions. Even my friend Daily Warlord made an unpopular opinions video. You can check that out on this channel with the icon in the upper right. But let's get started. My first unpopular opinion we're gonna start with characters. Okay, this first character, he is loved because he was in a season that is generally loved. They like him because of his character, and how big of an influence he is towards the entire series. But for me, Chen is not a good character. I just don't like him. No, I don't like him. He's an alright villain, but he just feels like a whiny little bitch. He just feels like an overgrown kid. And the acting further cements this idea. No offense to the actor. No offense to the actor who played this. You're just doing your job, okay? I respect that. But just the voice is just so terrible. I'd rather listen to freaking scariest audio recordings for freaking scary video game songs than hear him say, I'd rather hear, yeah, it's just, it's just annoying as hell. And it just got under my skin real quick. And he's one of the main reasons why Season 4 is just meh to me. So, but just because his character is bad, that doesn't mean I can't deny what he has done. He has a great backstory. He basically is one of the biggest, if not the biggest influencer on the entire plot. Because without him, Lloyd wouldn't exist. Zane might be the Green Ninja, or it could be the child of Wu and Misako. But I really don't like Chen. He's just a pussy to me. He's just a pussy to me. So, second unpopular opinion, I just mentioned this in the Chen one, but Season 4 was an okay season. A lot of people consider Tournament of Elements to be the best season of Ninjago. Because I've seen a lot of people, when I go and talk on Discord, they say, oh, Season 4 is the greatest Season 2 ever exist. Or they say Season 4 is like the one with the least amount of problems in it. Can someone explain to me how it's perfect, or near perfect? Because simply, I just don't see it. Chen, Skylar, you know, the first half was great. The first, 5-6 episodes. But then the second half came in, and it just and because I predicted one little thing, it basically ruined the entire thing. And, which, that was on me. I admit it. It was on my fault. It was my fault. If I didn't predict it, I would have probably liked it. But I did predict it, and history was written. Yes, but yeah. I can kind of get why Season 4 is liked, because, but I need a full bit-by-bit explanation. You can't just say, oh, put it into this one little paragraph block, because I am not going to read all that. You have to give me bits by bits on why Tournament of Elements is the best season. And you can't include Chen, you can't include Skylar, because I've already made my mind on those two characters. They're annoying as fuck, and they're just pussies, and overpowered. Well, Skylar is, but not Chen. He's just underpowered, to be honest. But keeping on the topic of Tournament of Elements, Skylar is not a great character either. I don't like, voice acting was not that great. No offense to the voice actress. You're just doing your job. Respect that. But it's just, it feels monotone. Robotic. You know? Kinda like this. You know? Okay. For example. Would you rather hear, I'm gonna use one of her lines. And you have, tell me in the comments below, which what line do you believe more in? Okay, I gave you the fortune cookie. That's the first one. Or, I gave you the fortune cookie. What do you believe more? The first line or the second line? If you believe the first line, then you like the monotone voices and non-expressive voices. But if you pick my rendition of it, then you like the expressive, the passionate voices. And hopefully most people would pick my rendition. And that just further cements my point that the voice acting just sounds very robotic, monotone. And thank God this was improved in Season 9. She improved the voice acting in Season 9. And definitely nerfed her overpowered. Yeah, that's another part of her I don't like. Her element's very basic. It just feels like someone just randomly came up with it. And it's overpowered to the point where she could literally be God. And that's not right to me. And on a power list, I consider her on the same level as the ninja, if not a tad higher. Because, for this main reason. There are just way too many questions about the actual abilities of what her power can and cannot do. Like, yes, she can combine elements, but though she combined two elements that are basically the same thing, which were light and shadow, or she used the same ability or something. But can she control two elements at the same time? How did she not handle destruction? Could she not handle creation or something? But, yeah, I really don't like her as a character. So, and speaking of, I mentioned Season 9. While I do like the season, I do think it is overrated. What do people like about this season that they consider one of the other best seasons of all time? Like, literally, I don't get it. There's a lot of things I don't get about this community. They think, like, the 4th season and the 9th season were the pinnacle of Ninjago. And I totally disagree with that. I thought seasons 1 and 3 were the pinnacle. But, tell me in the comments below, what is so great? You can tell me in the comments below, what is so great about Season 900 that makes it one of the best seasons of all time? And no, you cannot say animation, because I'm going to do something about that later. That will be the next one. You can't say animation. You have to include something with story and stuff, because otherwise I'm just not going to get it. I did rewatch it a couple of months ago. I thought it was better the first time I watched it, but I still did not like the whole flip-flopping in between the stories, which that's pretty much fucking confusing as hell for a guy like me. I'd rather have stuff one at a time. That's why I prefer the Season 11 way of handling two different story arcs. You start with one, finish that. Start with the other, finish that. That's one at a time. So yeah. My next unpopular opinion is that animation isn't that big of a deal to me. If you have a great story, and if you execute said story extremely well, I don't give a damn how you animate it. It doesn't really matter to me. Unless it's animated like stick figure-ish, where it's drastically different. Like, Season 7, no, that does not count as drastically different. I did see a downgrade, but it's not drastically different. Season 11 might be the same thing. It might be a downgrade, the city might be a downgrade, but it's nothing too drastic for me to care about. So, yeah. And I can't believe people are leaving over because of different animation styles than what they're used to. I mean, I get that, but come on. You gotta accept these changes. You can't just be freaking negative Ned, negative Nancy all the time about it and just refute these opinions. You can't evolve as a person like that. You can't evolve like that. You gotta learn to accept these new changes, because changes are gonna happen in life. And you just gotta learn to accept them. What's another unpopular opinion I have? Next unpopular opinion. Marchione was actually great. A lot of people have really mixed reviews around Marchione. Because I do agree, it's a bit too short. I think it should have been 6 episodes. But that does not take away what the season actually did. It managed to do something. It managed to create a story and finish it off with 4 episodes. It's double the length of Day Departed and the pilots. So you got a bit more wiggle room. And you got a good writer with Brady Shoot. So it was just a combination for success. And Brady really impressed me with Marchione. Hopefully season 11 impresses me as well. And referring back to the characters, Harumi's not that great of a character. I'm sorry to attack so many characters into this. But Harumi, she has a really good backstory. But her abilities are basically very, very limited. She has very weak fighting abilities. If it wasn't for the damn Oni mask, she would have gotten her ass whooped. I'm saying it. She would have gotten her ass whooped. Yeah, and if Lloyd didn't catch that damn knife, she would have won. So, she only has a freaking knife. Which, yes, you can kill someone with that, but most of the time, and I don't want to sound sexist to you, most of the time the man is going to overpower the woman. I'm just saying. Most of the time. I'm not saying that's going to be the case for every single time. But if I sounded sexist there, I'm sorry. That was not my intention. But yeah, she's just very weak without the Oni Mask of Hatred. And her motivations are very confusing. Like, literally someone had to tell me what they were for me to understand. Like, yes, because at first I was thinking, why is she going after Lloyd? Lloyd didn't release the Great Devourer, and only the 4 main ninja had any part of it. So, isn't Harumi going to be going after the 4 OGs? But then someone told me, oh no, Lloyd released all of them. Yes. Well, yes, Lloyd did release Pythor. It was Pythor's own actions that released the Great Devourer. So, in reality, she should have blamed Pythor, not Lloyd. Because Lloyd didn't do shit with the Great Devourer awakening. And yeah, I know what you're thinking. Well, if Lloyd didn't release the Pythor, he wouldn't have released the Great Devourer. Well, that's true, but Pythor had the choice of releasing it or not. It was his own fault. You gotta think about the psychology of this. It was his own choice. If he did not choose it, then it would have had the same implications as if Lloyd did not release him. So, yeah, I truthfully believe it was Pythor's fault for Harumi's motivations, not Lloyd. But that's what I think. And the voice acting is questionable. It's not bad, but it's not good either. It's something about it just feels off. It's like it starts off with emotion and then it just goes completely robotic. It just goes like eep, eep, eep. And it makes me think, is the woman playing her a robot or something, or an android or something? Because it just it feels emotion at first and then zero emotion. I don't know. Yes, I definitely want to become a voice actor, and I would pour every part of my passion into it. I make it the most emotion expressionate thing, and I get that these actors are trying their very, very best, and not everyone's gonna be impressed with it. You can't impress everyone, and I'm just one of those people that just can't be impressed that easily. Okay, this one I know is going to be unpopular. I hate saying this, but Kai was not terrible in the Oni and Dragon trilogy. He wasn't terrible. A lot of people are saying, oh, he's terrible, he's shit in these 3 seasons. Well, these could be sort of made up. Season except for like season 10. Season 10, that was just pure randomness. Season 8, some people say he's pretty much a freaking selfish. But I looked into Daily Roller's retweet of, what was it, D. Tenaglia Studios? I think it was D. Tenaglia. Not too entirely sure. But he said, the tweet was, has Kai ever been this selfish or something like that? And then people were like, well, no, he's not entirely selfish. He's just, concerned. He wanted to win the battle. And he knew that they would have a better chance of fighting with their powers than fighting without them. So, and I definitely agree with that. They would have had a much better chance against Garmadon if they did have their powers. But, so do I think Kai was selfish? No. He just was concerned for the future. It's not like he hated Lloyd or anything. Lloyd's his freaking student. They have a student-mentor type relationship. So, I wouldn't see that happening. And then there's season 9 where he just goes all ballistic. Which he kind of basically pulls a J from like season 2. Which that was kind of interesting. But he did have a touching moment with the dragons, even though he had that little suit error thingy. And most people did not like the scene of him teaching. They interpreted it as Kai teaching Teen Wu how to be cocky, which I do not see that. How do you see that? Like, Wu just pointed out that Kai is cocky. Is that it? He was basically trying to build the confidence in Wu. So I do not see Kai Kai did somewhat return to his old roots, but not as, like, you know. And then season 10, he had a great moment with Nia, but he did made me laugh, really, with the whole pillow thing. I thought that was just hilarious. And speaking of Kai, another unpopular opinion, I love Kai as a comedy relief character. He's much better than Jay as a comedy relief character. Jay is just screaming, and it's just not that creative. It's just screaming and whiny little baby noises. While with Kai's, his are actually much more creative. Kai is smarter than Jay. At least I think he is. I can't say... Jay may be better when it comes to, like, the technical thingies. But Kai has the smarter, I think, brain power. So, I think he would come up with more creative jokes. And this is proven in Season 11. With, you know, Kai unintentionally, you know, getting his face smashed in. Which I kept laughing every time he gets smashed his face in. So yeah, Kai is a great comedy relief character for me. Jay's time as a comedy relief character is up. And I'm glad he kind of passed it on to, Jay. I mean, Kai, sorry. Yeah. Okay, my last unpopular opinion. It's about one of the most controversial scenes in the entire show's history. Of course, I'm talking about the Final Wish scene. But I think that ending was complete bullshit. The reason why I think it is bullshit is because it gave me the mindset that I just wasted an entire fucking season on a freaking love relationship. You know, yeah, people got pissed over the How I Met Your Mother series finale, because the whole wasted an entire season on a freaking divorce or something. That's what I heard. But this is almost equivalent to that. You don't waste an entire fucking season on freaking love on a freaking chip. That's not how it works. The only reason I let this slide is because it was a season finale. Now, if this was the series finale, a lot more people would have gotten pissed. Like, I'm pretty sure more people would have gotten mad. More people would have hated that ending. Because it didn't end on a cliffhanger, but it ended on one of the stupidest ways possible. Yes, I get it's very creative and very risky. I do not think the writers put themselves in the hole, and it wasn't pointless. It just had very severe consequences that I just don't think the writers saw until they saw it on the screen, or they received backlash over it. I just feel like they just didn't see the overall consequences of having that ending. So, yeah, these are my unpopular opinions on Ninjago. I may come up with more. There may be a part 2 to this if more seasons come down the road. So, what are some of your unpopular opinions on the show? Put them down in the comments below. And if you like this video, give it a thumbs up. Click on that red subscribe button to subscribe to this channel, and click on that notification bell to receive every video that I will upload. And I'll see all you folks in the next video. Bye bye!